He's the cutthroat killer, and he's starting at the bottom left. With a win against Tier, he was able to force Lenog out. To the bottom left, we have the Protoss player for the MVP team. It is
MVP Major.
This guy has experience in this situation in a very well-known game. He was able to kill Nestea in the Team League with a DT drop, I guess you could say, warp onto the high ground. Very famous game.
He's up against another Zerg player here. He's up against the Zerg starting to the top left. Very strong. The ace player for FXO. This is
FXO Lino.
the Linoctopus. In the last game, he was able to defeat Jakji at the GSTL. He was the ace player for FXO. And, well, he came through for his team, but now he has a very, very tough road ahead of him.
Yeah, he's going to have to kill Tails, likely Dongregyu, and, you know, 1/3 other player that's currently unknown to everyone. And the question is, can he do that? Will he even win this first game?
Exactly.
Finale can do anything he wants. He's already, rather Tails can do anything he wants. He's already done his job. He's already killed the Pross with a cannon rush. And he has the world as his options.
Look at this. We have actually a hatch first for Linok here. He starts with a hatch first, no pool. He's not afraid of any kind of cannoning at this point.
No scout for Tails either, so he didn't even force, you know, he didn't attempt to block or force a pool. Completely in the dark here, saving some extra mining. This will allow him to get his forge up a little bit faster right now. He may go gate first, as something you see on this map, but no, forge.
And Linok retreats his scouting drone immediately because he knows with the Overlord already exactly where his opponent starts. He knows about the timings, and therefore not even seeing like the 3-hatch opening, like the double hatch expansion that we've seen against live pull off against Hero. But with the hatch first already in a decent position, of course his pool is going to be a little bit later, and he spots for the probe immediately. He wants to know that there is no kind of cannoning going on.
Look at this, even checks the drone, yeah. I mean, not cutting any corners right now. I mean, I guess you could argue that going hatch first is cutting some corners, but on a map of this size, pretty safe, especially knowing no probe scout.
We have a lot of space behind the mineral patches as well, so even if you go for some kind of cannon attack, Tails would really have to work for it. As long as you scout on a map like this with all the space that you have, you're good.
Yeah. There's not ever going to be some sort of cannon block where you can't surround the cannon, or the cannon's got 2 pylons on either side. The next move for Tails is going to be pretty, I don't want to say it's going to be game deciding, but it will send the game in one direction. He's kind of driving the game right now. And which turn will he take?
This is actually a position that he could potentially cannon, but he doesn't. Tails knows about it though. He's seen the hatch, he knows it's there, and Linok also sends over a circling because he knows as well he might not be able to cannon my natural, but he might be willing to actually risk it at my 3rd, which is not the case as the Zergling just spotted, but so far he has not seen the probe.
Yeah, the probe is lurking around. Might drop a pylon if he wants to put some aggression on with 4 gateways. No +1 research just yet. He may wait until the core finishes to get that. The research of +1 and warp gate research takes the same amount of time. So if you start them at the same time and evenly distribute your chrono boosters, you can hit a pretty nice timing with that. Warp gate research is started. No +1, however. See the timings of the gases very soon. And I'm a little bit curious here. Okay, there's +1.
I'm actually stressed to tell you the truth. The semifinals, the GSTL and the dynamic always gets me, but the semifinals, they are an entirely different story, because right now it comes down to every single map, every single win, and FXO they are on the back foot now. They have to edge out some wins, and Linok is the one man who can make it happen. He's the last man standing, and he has to win now. So this is so close. One mistake and your team will not advance to the finals. But we've seen crazier things. We've seen a reverse all kill already. So it might happen, and MVP should not feel too confident. But here, everything that Linok Matters does, he has not a 2nd game or a 3rd game that he can fall back to. This is not a best of 3. This is a best of 1, and MVP Tails has shown that he has it in him to win it. Currently, we have him immediately with 4 additional gates. He's going for a gateway attack here. +1 is halfway done, And the one thing that Lino does right now is drone up like crazy, and he has not spotted the probe, and this is the most important part here.
Yeah, and he also has not spotted the gates. He has the Overlord in perfect position to spot those gates, but he has not sent it in. He sees the pylon, and he better check, because if he does not, this could be a big problem for him. This is not going to be an all-in attack, but with the 4 gases, he's going to be able to make a lot of stalkers with this. He's only gone to 6 gates. He's not doing 7 or 8. This is going to be a gas-heavy sentry, a sort of stalker attack. If he decides to go for it, he's trying to make this look like it's an expand, I think. He may actually just expand with this, but with the probe out on the map, he can do an attack. I mean, he's got a lot of options. This may be a cancel. You know, this is so hard for a Zerg to read that we don't even know, looking at this, what he's really going to do.
Linox spots the third, but it kind of baffles me that he does not try to check what exactly is at the pile. Now he goes to the left, and he has to see what's at the pile, and he will. He will spot these gates. The +1 is done, though, and the pile to the top right, built by the probe, is nearly ready. Here they come. Linox knows what's up. How many units does he have? 60 drones against 53 probes, and now he started to build units.
Yeah, and this is
tense.
This is tense, really man, because he has so much gas. He has the 4 gases. He can do so much with this.
He's walking right into those sentries. He doesn't have enough units. Speed for the roaches is coming.
That's so many sentries. That's 9 sentries. And he's got a flank of zealots here. This roach force is going to be dead no matter which way you look at it.
No, not necessarily. He's going in and just look at it. The speed is finishing up. If speed finished for the Zerglings, they are able to pick off another sentry or 2 moving in. But +1 is done already, so those zealots will 2-hit a Zergling.
Here they come. In fact, the Zealot's going right for that 3rd base. And it looks like he is going to keep the Nexus. And as things turn out, he forced a lot of units and holds this 3rd.
Forcing back the sentries is definitely exactly what Linox needed here. But the 3rd base is done for his opponent. Tails has the 3rd base. Linox is safe at his own 3rd. He even cancels as he now realizes that the Nexus has not been cancelled. MVP Tails definitely going for 3 bases here. And therefore, Linox currently safe with what he has on the map. Cancels the Spine Crawler and starts building the drones again.
This is an awkward 3rd too, because yeah, he's getting a lot of money here, but he has no tech, so he can keep warping in gateway units with the extra money he has, but his Twilight Council's halfway done, as is Robe. We made them identically at the same time. He can't get +2 yet. Can't get Blink, he can't get Immortals, and he needs all of these things.
Spire. Something that we don't see all this often anymore in this matchup. A lot of times, the only thing that the Zerg player tries to do is get the Spire for the Corruptors, but this already indicates that he is going heavy Muda here.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it, as he is... I mean, with the timing of this, he hasn't scouted anything that indicates he should have a Spire this early, especially with the push he saw. It's definitely going to be Mutas. And on a map like this, it's big. It can be very important for base trades, and base trades do oftentimes happen on maps of this size.
Hit the 3rd, try to lure him away from the main, and go into the main with the Needlelisks.
Yeah, it's a great map for this. The 3rd base and the main are so close, you can fly between the 2 so easily. But at the same time, you can also blink from the 3rd to the main, so it depends on how well Tails controls his defenses.
And Tails is getting blink, and the +2 attack upgrade. Does not necessarily indicate that he'll be ready for this, but it will certainly help him to defend.
Yeah, he's going to have the tools necessary. Just depends on how well he executes it. These Zerglings are probably going to get trapped, at least a few of them. There they go.
Yeah, he kills 4. The force fields, and of course Linox is in position. And Linox already shows that, hey buddy, here I am, you better defend. But Tails is on the left side with his Zorkers. He has... Oh, now he's moving over to the 3rd. The Mutalisk, 7 of them building. This is not going to be enough. He will need more than that. But he's lacking the gas now, of course. He's invested a lot in this already. +2, +1 coming for the ground units. And the +1 attack upgrade for the air units. While the 4th base is now nearly done. And we have the 2 extractors taken immediately by Linox.
This is a pretty small force for Linox out here. And Blink is done. He's got to be careful. He's going to lose some of these units if he goes for the offensive Blink.
This is a pretty scary force for Tails.
Yeah, oh, he's going to catch an Immortal, maybe. Blinks in to try to defend it. Great control by Linox, just kind of ring around the rosy here.
Nice, uses the Zerglings to attack the natural, or the 3rd base, and immediately walks into his opponent's main base. Here come the Mutalisks, picking off the sentry just in time. No, one force field is done, but now suddenly the Blink has been used, and the Stalkers are in cooldown while the Mutalisks are headed for the main base and trying to do the damage here.
Yep, he'll definitely get a few more probes at the very least. Meanwhile, the 3rd base Zerglings were burrowed.
God. There's so many of them.
There are so many of them. He's taking out a lot of probes here, and Linox Looks like he is taking a pretty, I mean, he's taken out 26 workers already, 27,
28, 29, 30. He takes out every single. Oh, wow. I actually think, if I've seen this correctly, I'm sorry, I did not look on our observer screen. We were focused on our own monitor, but I think that actually the warped in units by Tails were not attacking the Zerglings. I think they were a little bit too far to the right.
He burrowed his Lings, and then the units left, and then he unburrowed them, just using that burrow technology to his advantage. There was no observer at that base. This is going to be a pretty nice trap, though, for Tails, getting a lot of these Lings. The Mutas, though, are still uncontested. They're going to fly into the main after they kill these two probes here.
Leonok has to be very careful, though. He does not necessarily have the army to take down this Protoss force.
Look at this.
He is down in army supply.
He's going for the attack. That's why those 5 cannons are morphing right now. He wants the base trade. This is exactly what we mentioned before. There's a lot of Protoss army here. So every single sentry, full energy here. Guardian shields going up.
And we have only 27 Harvesters left for Tails. If he loses this army, he is done for, and he knows it. But this is such a huge army. 31 Stalkers, only 4 Mutalisks left. He tries to take down not only the Stalkers, but also the sentries. They blink, the Stalkers blink. Leonok is 50 supply ahead, but in army supply, Tails is more than even with him.
Yeah, he is, and he's got the Stalkers. They're joining the army. Now Mutas flying the Stalkers. Leonok is in trouble. FXOpen is in trouble. Tails.
He can still win this. He has 20 roaches on the...
but so many of them, some of them will die as they spawn. This is a tough spot for Leonok. He's still in this if he can get his army together, but he does not. They rally right into the Stalkers, and the Roach Warren is about to be taken out. Counter. He remakes it, but Leonok is in so much trouble here.
Yeah, he certainly is. He's trying to make this work. He has to pull the drones. He has to pull some drones. He is going in with everything. He has immediately focusing down the Immortal. The Immortal is dead, and now he aims for the Stalkers. Tails is blinking, of course. He controls the choke point. And Leonok backs off. He expanded to the right side of the map twice. What a game! Yeah. 27 Harvesters left for Tails, 56 for Leonok. The supply now still in favor of Leonok, but in army supply they are dead even.
Leonok says half that base. Burrows his drones, and now he's going for a counterattack. This is going to do damage at the 3rd base potentially, and he's going to continue to make those roaches with the money that he has. He is basically buying time. With those bases, those 2 bases you mentioned, they made at the bottom right. He actually has some economy that he can use there. He's got some extra production, and you know, Leonok, if he controls this, if he plays his cards well, I think he actually still has a pretty good chance in this game.
They are now nearly even Harvesters, 33 against 38. The supply still in advantage of Leonok, in favor of Leonok. He has the advantage here. While now the Mutalisks are trying to take down a few units, the Stalkers still go to town, take down expansion after expansion, hatch after hatch, and Leonok is trying to flank from 2 sides. Here we go, the Noctopus on the move, chasing those Stalkers back, chasing them away, and
he's gonna get him.
No blink available for Tails. He tries to retreat to the choke point, controlling it, but Leonok, he doesn't care. He's pulling his way up the ramp and takes down every single one of them.
Yep, the Stalkers blink to the side, and Tails has started remaking probes, but he's lost almost his entire army. He's basically lost half of it. The army supply now 76 to 29 in Leonok's favor, and Calder, I think he's done it.
Leonok is once again ahead in Harvesters, you're right, and he's going for the lair tech again, and just look at the minimap. 3 bases for both of them, but the main base of Tails is nearly mined out, and he doesn't have any mining at the 3rd.
Yeah,
and how could he? It's so exposed.
It's so exposed, and the Roaches, they're not going to hesitate, not for a second. The force fields may buy time, but that's all they're going to buy.
The pylon dies, and so do the Zealots. He's moving to the... Nah, he can't be trapped here. Too many cannons. He's trying to get his units off guard and snipes the sentry. One of them is down. Uses Burrow. There is only 1 observer on the map. Oh god, yeah, he moves into the natural. He now moves into the natural. The force fields and the burrowed roaches is what he counts on. The observer spots all the bases. And here again, Leonok baiting out some force fields.
14 more roaches on the way. Leonok's drone count is at 48. I'm starting to get concerned. Okay, 12 drones on the way. I was going to say, I'm getting a little bit concerned. He's attacking too much because the worker count of Tails is increasing. He does have a good amount of money. He needs to keep his drone count high as well. He's remade his natural, so he's about to find himself on 4 bases. He's got so much production. As soon as he realized what was happening, he made macro hatches. And, you know, Leonok is still ahead here, I would say. But this game is by no means over because if Tails, I mean, a Protoss on 3 base is a happy Protoss. And until that main base really mines out, he is going to feel okay. He's going to be able to continue to make units. But the issue is the tech. The Infestation Pit is coming up, 2 upgrades coming out for Leonok. And this game is hard to call, man, because it's going to really rely on the next decisions that these two players make.
Lenog has an advantage here, just with how he approaches this now. Pathogen Glands coming up, +2/+2. He's far ahead in upgrades of his opponent, if I'm not mistaken. I think we have, well, not far ahead, but we have 1-1 against Pro. No, actually, sorry, I'm mistaken here. +2 attack. And +1 armor, but Lenog will be ahead in upgrades just by a small margin, but that might be enough. And as you said, the thing is, Tails needs to stabilize. Lenog already has. Tails is getting the second robotics bay, second robotics facility, the first robotics bay, and this is going to be so scary. The lava, I don't know, 22 lava, 66 against 61 harvests. This game is crazy. I love it. This is a perfect starter for Lenog's attempt to get FXO back into the picture.
He's got 7 infestors on the way, 8. When the infestors finish, he's going to use them to control the map. His creep spread is continuing on. It's not the best, but I mean, this was kind of a crazy situation that he's placed into.
You should see the MVP bench right now. Everyone is staring at those monitors. The team MVP is so intensely looking how Tails is going to approach this. They are talking with each other about who is going to take an advantage here. And now Lenog maxed out. He's going for, well, one Mutalisk.
I think he needs to start Hive soon. I think that's something that is important for him right now, because if he does not, if he gets caught off guard by this Colossus timing, things can get really, really nasty.
He's going for Neural Parasite here, and well, he has the Spire, so he can always just answer this with Corruptors, and I think this is what he's going to do. I don't think that he is too comfortable to taking straight for Hive. We'll probably see the Hive tech, but I think he will first try to poke once again. And of course, the one thing that he really has to do here is just preventing a 4th.
Yeah, prevent a 4th and prevent the attack, because he cannot really, I mean, if he doesn't get a 4th, he's going to attack. If he doesn't attack, he's going to get a 4th. He cannot really do both.
Did he get this one Mutalisk on purpose just to take down the Observer? He's getting an Overseer now, and this might actually be the case.
Well, that's entirely possible, actually. It's the best way to chase it.
+2 attack, by the way, is building. And look at the bank for Lenog. If he has additional gas, he can just tech switch. Yeah, that's what he does. There's the Mutalisk. 1 Mutalisk in the army. And I bet that just in a few seconds we will see the Overseer. There it is. Yeah, here we go. Boom. Fungal and dead.
Yep. This really limits the amount of information Tails has about where the army is.
Now we have the Hive tech.
Yeah, Hive tech is on the way. He spots that his opponent isn't moving out now, so he feels content.
He has 4 bases, 4 against 3. Army supply currently 127 against 129. Ah, nice blink. Trying to snipe those infestors. Maybe a little bit. Nope. The army follows suit, and the infestors, actually, a few of them die. Lenog able to buy some time, but not enough.
Not enough, man. This attack, it's coming. This is exactly what I was talking about. Either a 4th base or a big push, and the big push is going to be the answer. Lenog doing everything he can to buy time. Now, I think Tails is just going to make cannons at home. He's going to say, all right, there's a Roach Force over there. I'll leave a few units behind. Yeah, leaving actually 7 Stalkers, 6 Stalkers back at home. Seeing a second group as well, and now he's going to go for the big attack. He's going to start sniping hatcheries, and if he snipes this one is the Hive. Lenog needs to start Greater Spire before this gets sniped, and he does.
Oh, Greater Spire has been started. The Hive is being attacked. Lenog is going to sack it. He's not going to try to defend it.
It's so important that he got that that Greater Spire started first.
The high ground advantage currently for Tails. Lenog is not going to engage into this.
And now Tails actually has enough units at home to defend this Roach pressure that's coming through. If he micros well, then he can just go home. Looks like going home is not his plan, though. He's taking the fight to Lenog's base. There's so many investors here, though. This is a choke point.
Do we see Neural Parasite? He's certainly ready for it. Lenog, what is he going to do here? He's waiting for this unit. He has still a few Spine Crawlers that are delaying the final attack in the middle of the map. Now we have the Roaches against Stalkers. Tails doesn't realize it. No micro from the MVP Protoss. He's losing a lot of units, and now the Corruptor's trying to get into position, sniping the first Colossi.
There's very few Stalkers left here, so the Colossi need to do their damage now, but they are doing it. The Greater Spire is not done yet. 19 Roaches on the way. He burrows. He's going to target it down.
It's going to target it down. He's still down in supply. Tails, that is. Lenog is still ahead, but here come the Roaches. He's trying to snipe everything, and he's coming in with another force from the back, but the Greater Spire is probably going to die here. He keeps finishing. Is he getting... Oh, he's not getting the... Oh. No.
Does not get the Broodlords. He does not have a hive. He does not have a lair.
Tails with a great timing here. He's playing this so well, but he needs to kill the income of his opponent.
He needs another base.
Yes, exactly. He's still on 3 bases, and there's a Zergling borrowed at the 4th. He just can't throw down another Nexus.
Yeah,
he might run out of money.
He needs to get a Nexus desperately, and there's nothing he can do without making an Observer, or at least getting cannons up over there. Lenog is moving across the map with a large force, 108 army supply to 50, but the defensive position here for Tails is nice. The question is, will he ever be able to secure a 4th? Because Lenog can rebuild. He's like a regenerating starfish right now.
The army supply is 56 for Tails and 117 for Lenog. If Lenog actually uses Borrow movement, he could get up this ramp. If he focuses... Tails is moving in actually. He's trying to take the fighter with the Immortals and the back. He might actually be able to win it. Here comes Lenog trying to do damage, and he does a lot of them corruption use on the Immortals, but Lenog is losing too many units. Roaches alone won't cut it here.
No, they will not. Not with these Immortals and not with the Force Fields. The Infestors have arrived, but are they too late? Remember, he still does not have a 4th base, and like I said, Leonok is regenerating right now. If he doesn't throw away too many units here...
And he's bungling, but once again, the Roaches, he's not using Burrow movement in order to retreat to safety. He's just trying to trade here, and he's dropping in supply.
The reason why he's dropping in supply, part of the reason, though, is because he doesn't have a Roach Warren, and he'll remake that supply once the Roach Warren is finished. He does have some bank here. But he's trading, and he's trading okay, and when you have a better economy than your opponent, if you take out these sentries, man, you're going to be okay.
He does, and he is trying to save those Infestors, and Tails is not giving chase because, well, actually, does he? Does he really try to blink after the Infestors?
That would be a big risk.
So.
He gets one. Look at how close the supply is right now. This is so important. Leonok needs to rebuild units.
There they are, 16 Roaches immediately upon reaching. He's trying to max out again upon... Oh, the Infestors! He's chasing them down, but upon reaching a Roach Warren, he's getting the Roaches into the picture once more, and the supply now with 30 in his favor, but here comes Tails, blinking up, taking down Raptors, at least trying to attempt to, and this base is going to die again.
But meanwhile, it's certainly run by at Tails' 3rd base. He's losing some probes there.
Indeed he does, 42 probes and versus 42 drones. The base dies, Lenog expanded to the left once more, and here comes his army, the Roaches on the move, corruption!
Targeting Immortal! And it looks like it's going to fall, but the Roaches are going down as well. Great bungles here. The bungles were so spot on. He will take out the Stalkers.
Too many. He's taking them apart. Lenog, 30 minutes in the game, is taking a huge supply lead once again.
These mineral fields are running out. They're about 200 to 250 right now, and he is out of time. He's making 2 Colossi, but he doesn't have much more money to do anything else, and Leonok is not going to stop the attack. He will force him to rebuild units as many times as he can until that money supply, until those mineral fields are gone.
No 4th base for Tails. That's the big story here. Leonok now, with all these bases, he has 4.
Oh, that fungal, he traps every single Zealot. They cannot retreat. They're taking damage here.
Indeed they do, and Leonok is just waiting for the force fields to be gone. He could use Burrow movement. He does not, and he goes in. Wow.
The Colossi come out, the probes come out.
Neural Parasite.
Neurals, and there's not enough answer.
No, this has to be it. This has to be it. The Roaches close the distance. They have to focus now, and he does.
GG! Leonok winning one of the most stressful games I have ever had to watch. But guess what, man? That's only part 1 of his 3-part trilogy to get FXOpen to the finals.
And Leonok, wow, he is so tensed up. Did you see him? Usually, as soon as he wins a game, he jumps up and he's
got
like,
a smile on his face or something. He's got some sort of, personal celebration for himself. But right now, right now he's just saying, well, this is only the beginning.
He's like, okay, this was too close for comfort. Please not 3 more of those.
This is like the end of a movie where like the good guys like turn out okay, but it's like, all right, well now we have to go on a journey, and there's a sequel and everybody knows it.
Tails was so close to defeating him here, and
he really was. That was such a close game.
MVP in this nail-biting series between FXO and MVP is now looking at their 4th player. They have to make a decision. We talked about DRG. That's the one player that will come out today, at least.
You know what?
I think so, but
I think I solved who's going to be the other player.
SC?
It's going to be SC. Yep. You and I, man, we're like on the same wavelength here. I think they're going to send SC out right now. He's a great Terran versus Zerg player. He knows the parade push style better than anybody else.
It could be Monster. It could be Sniper. They have great Zergs out there.
And
but
Sniper has practiced a lot of ZVZ recently.
Exactly. But do you want to send out 2 Zergs?
I don't think so. I think it's either going to be Sniper or SC, but I would send SC here. I'm like, we've covered it all. Now I just want to see who it's gonna be. I'm really
just thinking
the
about
last two maps we have. I just want to see really quick. It's
Atlantis, Spaceship, and Metropolis. Metropolis is the map that we have right now.
And maybe, I mean, I would not want to send a Terran out on Metropolis, so it's starting to seem like another Zerg.
Do you want to send out a Terran player on Metropolis, as you said, but do you want to send out one on Atlantis Spaceship?
No,
not necessarily.
Point. Yeah. Woo.
Maybe not a Terran after all.
Yeah,
maybe rather another Zerg player and go for 2 ZVZs.
When I made that SC prediction, I was not thinking of the maps that we had left.
Yeah, those are 2 maps who are, well, historically speaking, not the best. Not the best for Terran.
They're good for Zerg, and this is part of what FXOpen has set up already. Who's it going to be? Oh, wow. That's actually...
I didn't even think about him, to tell you the truth.
When I saw his face, I was like, that's Lure. I'm like, that's Lure, man.
I completely forgot about Lure.
I didn't forget about him, but to me, he was like, it was going to be Lure, it was going to be Tails for a situation like they used before. I never thought Lure would fit this role, not at this important moment. Not on this map.
Why not on this map? This is a great map for Protoss against Zerg.
It's a map where we see a lot of great pushes. It's tough to hold a third as a Zerg. We've seen a lot of sentry drops here. Close air position sometimes comes into play.
It's a great map for timing, and I feel like this is what Lure is trying to accomplish.
I am stoked for this, man.
This is so cool. GSTL semifinals, guys. MVP against FXO and Lure is setting up his gear. Whoa, after the last game, I'm really psyched to see this. One Protoss player already eliminated by Lenok. Another one is now on its way into the booth, setting everything up, and I think we will have a 5-minute break here.
I think so. I'm not 100% sure on this one. We are going to have a 5-minute break. You're right. Keller can see the future. Lure, we're going to see what he is made of here. A choice that we didn't expect. But Lenok, man, he already took out one. He may be able to take out the second. This is the GSTL. We will see you in 5 minutes.